Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. Can see quite a few of you still joining, so we'll just hold off a couple of minutes before starting.
Yeah, let's give 2 minutes till everybody's in.
Okay, so I think we can probably kick off. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. Thank you for joining the MBZIRC webinar. Vina Hausen, our program manager here at Aspire, and for the challenge will be hosting the session today. Just to sort of kick off, she'll be giving a quick presentation on Aspire and then talking you through the challenge, and then we will be opening for a Q&A where you can ask her questions directly. So please do feel free to post them in the chat or use the Q&A function, and we'll be answering all questions at the end. The presentation should take about 15 minutes. So without further ado, Vina, I'll hand over to you.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you very much. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to this webinar. I'm Vina Hausen, the program manager of MBZIRC Maritime Grand Challenge. I'm a part of Aspire that is driving the creation of transformative technologies. Today's agenda is the following: an introduction to Aspire and the MBZIRC Maritime Grand Challenge. We will then talk about discussion forum to facilitate teaming activities. And in the end, we're going to take questions. So I request all of you to wait till the presentation is complete and we open up to Q&A. So before we look at what the MBZIRC has in store between now and 2023, I would like to talk about Aspire a little bit. Aspire is an organization that exists to bridge the gap between the lab and the real world. We're based in Abu Dhabi. We're a technology program management arm of the ATRC, which is Advanced Technology Research Council. And we are a sister organization of TII, Technology Innovation Institute, which is ATRC's applied research arm. What's our role? Our role is to drive the creation of transformative technologies. Fundamentally, we focus on commissioning research that leads to pioneering advances, helping deliver new technologies with practical applications. We do this in a number of ways, from directing strategy to funding research, selecting partners, managing the development of research, and shaping the problem statements and international grand challenges to really drive the next great leap in tech evolution. We have various projects. At Aspire, we are here for the real world. We don't inspire research for the sake of research. We frame our research statements with clear benefits for practical and commercial applications in mind. We work in close consultation with researchers, innovators, cross-sector industry stakeholders from all levels of the local and international R&D ecosystem, and ensure that our research projects have a clear path to successful application. So it's a natural and logical part of our mission to sponsor and organize grand challenges at the highest level, which can translate quickly into IP and commercial success. Well, our grand challenges. The bar for the grand challenges is high enough to accelerate innovation, but still doable. As part of Aspire's mission to solve tomorrow's issues, our high-profile competitions and grand challenges reach out to engage innovators and talented researchers from around the globe. It's a unique way to approach problem solving and maybe even to reach innovators we've never even heard of before. So Aspire's very first grand challenge was Xprize Feed the Next Billion. I would like to speak a little bit about this one. By 2050, the Earth's population will be 9.7 billion. Demand for high protein products is increasing. Impact of meat production is devastating the planet, not to mention animal suffering. So we wanted to address this challenge. So how are we doing this? Aspire is sponsoring Xprize Feed the Next Billion Grand Challenge. This grand challenge is open to the entire world. The goal is to replicate or outperform conventional chicken breast and fish fillet in access, sustainability, animal welfare, nutrition, taste, and texture. There is a prize purse of $15 million for this competition. So it's really big, and it's going to make the next leap in innovation towards sustainable food, sustainable proteins for the next generation. The rolling registrations are still open, and if you know anyone that would like to take part, please spread the word. Thank you. Now, let's start by looking at the big picture. Robots are everywhere, and autonomous systems are playing an increasingly important role across a huge range of sectors and applications. Meanwhile, they are getting more cost-effective, and they're becoming really powerful. So far, so good, but there's a tangible gap between what they can achieve here and now, and the kinds of capabilities we need as a society. We are seeking to push technological boundaries, enable robots to work more autonomously in dynamic, unstructured environments while interacting and collaborating with us and with one another. For those of you who don't know much about MBZIRC, we'll start with a little bit of background. MBZIRC stands for Mohammed bin Zayed International Robotics Challenge. It aims to become one of the world's largest and most prestigious international robotics competitions. It was established in 2017. It's held every 2 years here in Abu Dhabi as a real-world challenge for universities, research centers, companies, and individual innovators from all over the world. The aim of the challenge is to inspire the development of solutions in autonomous robotics. Our previous challenges have attracted teams from across Asia, Europe, North America, and the Middle East. We are now launching the 3rd edition of MBZIRC.
From the Mohammed bin Zayed International Robotics Challenge, a new global grand challenge for 2023, as teams of pioneering innovators from around the world converge on the coast of Abu Dhabi, UAE, to take part in an ambitious robotics competition and compete for a prize purse of over $3 million. Welcome to the MBZIRC Maritime Grand Challenge. The MBZIRC Maritime Grand Challenge is a unique, real-world challenge intended to inspire the creation of groundbreaking solutions in autonomous robotics, focused on applications of heterogeneous swarms in the air and out at sea, stimulating ideas, encouraging collaboration, and pushing boundaries. This edition of MBZIRC is a system of systems challenge, together diverse teams with skills in robotics, navigation, communications, and autonomous technologies to unleash their creativity together. In 2023, the Maritime Grand Challenge will focus on deploying autonomous robotic technologies to address the global problems of illegal fishing, piracy, smuggling, and coastline security. This highly complex, multi-layered task involves autonomous, unmanned aerial and surface vehicles working together in a GNSS-denied environment out at sea to detect an unfriendly vessel and offload goods from it in the shortest possible time. Making it happen will require a collaborative symphony of heterogeneous technologies and unmanned platforms backed by autonomous infrastructure. The MBZIRC Maritime Grand Challenge is organized over 3 distinct phases. A white paper phase, open to participants from across the globe until the end of December 2021. A simulation phase for shortlisted semi-finalists. And finally, a demonstration phase for 5 finalists who compete against the clock in a real-life scenario. To succeed, you'll need to create a vibrant ecosystem of partners to propel novel solutions with deep reasoning to counter real-world problems. Now, the call for participation is open. To register your interest and battle with the leading pioneers of autonomous robotics, visit us at mbzirc.com and let the Maritime Grand Challenge begin. Visit mbzirc.com for more details.
Well, that was our summary, but we are going to go through the challenge in detail over the next slides. So, as you already know, it is called the MBZIRC Maritime Grand Challenge. One of the domains where there's a gap in reality of robotic capabilities and real-world requirements is the maritime safety and security. Activities such as illegal fishing, smuggling, and piracy are a threat to the Coast Guard authorities. We would like to address this challenge. And as a result of it, this grand challenge will be held at sea off the coast of Abu Dhabi, addressing real-world maritime security challenges. It is the first global challenge to incorporate heterogeneous collaboration between UAVs and USVs operating in a GNSS-denied maritime environment. Let's start by looking at the incentives and the prizes. US dollar 3.25 million in prize money. The first prize is $2 million. Second prize is $500,000. And the third prize is $250,000. Participants who will complete simulation phase and agree to proceed to the final demonstration phase will get to split prize money of $500,000 equally among themselves. Any team that accepts demonstration phase prize will provide us with non-exclusive, perpetual, and royalty-free access to the IP, including the rights to sublicense it to the third parties. This is very important to ensure that innovations are commercialized to address the problems that led to the genesis of this competition. Now, we're going to get a little bit more into the detail of the Grand Challenge itself. Yeah. And this is probably the part that you're all waiting for, the details of the challenge. The teams will use a heterogeneous unmanned system comprising of one USV base station with a robotic manipulation arm mounted on it, a swarm of 5 to 20 unmanned aerial vehicles. The UAVs may land on, take off from, and recharge on the USV. The mounting of the robotic arm on the USV in order to accomplish the goal of the challenge is a very essential part of the challenge itself. Yeah, the USV base station and manipulation arm will be provided to each team by Spire. So all the teams will get the same USV, and we provide funding up to $50,000 to purchase a robotic arm of your choice. And how this robotic arm is mounted on the USV in order to complete the task is up to the teams, and we want to see some very smart ideas coming from you. In terms of communication, the swarm of unmanned systems must work in a GNSS-denied environment, and no extra system communications are allowed. However, intra-system communication between UAV and USV system is permitted. So the challenge itself, how is the challenge going to look exactly? There's going to be the system of USV and UAVs. Yeah, once the clock starts, these systems will be deployed at sea and given an intelligence report of a vessel that could be a target vessel, a vessel or two vessels that could be target vessels that have to match a description. So these UAVs are going to go search the water, and when they find a vessel that matches the description of the intelligence given to them, have to transmit a video stream to the operator and mark the vessel clearly and transfer a Boolean along with the video for the operator to say yes or no. And once the operator confirms, if the operator says, yes, this is the target vessel, you've identified it correctly, you get a go ahead to proceed to the intervention task. Yeah, if the operator says, no, this is not the target vessel, then you get a time penalty. Yeah, the entire mission has to be completed in a given amount of time. The time will be specified later. So, and if the operator says, no, this is not the correct vessel, the UAVs have to continue looking for the correct vessel. Now, let's say you've identified the correct vessel. A video stream has been activated from the USV and UAV swarm to the operator. The operator confirms the target vessel. Yeah, the video stream has to continue identifying all the objects on the vessel, accompanied by a Boolean that says yes or no for each of the items on the vessel to be picked up. Yeah, so there will be one small object about 1 kilo in weight. We are not going to disclose how this object will look like as of now. And there will be another bigger object around 10 kilo weight. So the smaller object has to be picked up. Well, let me just take one step back. Once the video stream is sent to the operator, marking the objects along with the Boolean, the operator can select the objects, first the small object, and the UAV swarms will proceed then to pick this small object and put it on the USV deck. Yeah. Then the video feed will continue and the operator is going to say yes or no to one of the bigger objects that are part of the video stream. The UAVs have to cooperate with each other to move this object from wherever it is closer to the USV on the vessel itself. So this is an important and required part of the challenge. The UAVs have to collaborate between them to move the object closer to the USV. And then the robotic arm that is mounted on the USV has to pick up this object and put it on the USV. Yeah. So once this task is accomplished, the clock stops. Whichever team accomplishes this task fastest or within a given amount of time wins. Yeah, okay. Now, I will proceed to the next slide. We are doing this competition in 3 phases. The first phase is white paper. We have provided all the information that we would like to provide you for white paper phase. It's in our white paper submission format. So we would like to see, just give me 1 second. We would like to see 2 important details in white paper. One is the team information, and the second one is technical details of solving this challenge. So you have the option of submitting up to 15 pages. So if you think you can provide us this information in 2 pages, great. If you want to write the solution in a more detailed way, use the 15 pages to provide the information as clearly and as descriptively as possible. We're really looking forward to receiving good white paper entries and some smart solutions to this challenge. Once we receive all your white papers, well, the white paper, the registration is already open. The white paper submission is also open, and we'll be accepting white papers till 30 December 2021. Once we receive the white paper, there is going to be judging of white papers, and we will announce the semi-finalists who will then proceed to the simulation phase. We are currently exploring the possibility of providing simulation software to all the semi-finalists. Once we have finalized the details, it will be announced on our website. So during the simulation phase, we want to see proof of concept. We want to get a confidence that you have the ability to solve this challenge and see how innovative the solution is in actually addressing the problem statement. Yeah, once we complete the simulation phase, which runs for around 6 months, there is going to be again simulation judging. The winners of simulation, there will be up to 5 winners. They will split a prize money of $500,000, and if they agree to proceed to the final demonstration, yeah, each of these teams will be given USV and up to $50,000 towards procuring a robotic arm. And they can then start developing the final solution. And the final demonstration is going to be mid-2023. You will be asked to come to Abu Dhabi and do the final demonstration here at sea in real environment. Now, who can enter this competition? Universities, research centers, businesses, individuals, anybody who can solve this challenge can enter this competition. We have not put any restrictions on who can participate in this grand challenge. The most important thing is teamwork, partnership, and collaboration. In order for you to go ahead in the competition, the first step is registration. We are providing, this afternoon, we have launched the MBZIRC community. All the teams that have already, all the teams or individuals that have already registered have been sent an email invitation to join the MBZIRC community. Yeah, and anybody who will register anew will be sent an invitation to join the community immediately after registration. So yeah, for people who would like to collaborate with each other to form stronger teams, please use this platform. It's going to be very useful for you. You can get in touch with each other to form stronger teams. This community is basically for you to get in touch with each other. Please be mindful of how you communicate with each other. And once you find teams that can complement your skills, we would recommend that you take the discussion outside the community. We do not want you revealing any proprietary information on the platform that other people can see. And you can also use the community to ask questions to the organizers. However, I would request you to take a look at our FAQ. We have a very elaborate FAQ and we are updating it on a regular basis. So any questions that comes from various channels will become part of FAQ and we will answer it there. So before you start asking questions to the organizers on the community forum, just please take a look at the FAQs. So that was a quick run through Aspire, its challenges, and MBZIRC Maritime Grand Challenge. It's time for questions. I see that there are already 3 questions in the queue. Tom?
Wonderful, thank you very much, Fina. Yeah, so we've had a couple of questions come in. A couple of them are more sort of logistical, and yes, the recording of the presentation will be available. Further, the presentation itself, yes, again, that will be available. Then, so to the more technical questions, you know, we've had one come in, which is it the $50,000 for the robotic arm included in the money split after the simulation phase, or is that independent?
Okay, the winners of the simulation phase, up to 5 people, they will split 500,000. That is their prize money. Yeah, that is separate. And in order to proceed to the final demonstration, in addition to this prize money that we have already given, yeah, we will provide them a USV plus 50,000 funding towards a robotic arm. Is that question answered, Andre? Yeah, yeah.
I'm not sure participants have the ability to unmute, Dina. So the questions will come in on the chat, and okay, yes, okay. Yes, Andre is happy with that. So the next question is what interface will MBZIRC give for the USV to move autonomously?
Well, we're currently finalizing it. Once the details are finalized, we will announce it on our website. Yeah, so just bear with us for some more time. We are exploring various options. So we will try and provide an interface that is popular.
Perfect. Another question is what actually needs to be picked up with the robotic arm during the mission?
Okay, during the mission, for the sake of an example, let's say we have a small boat, like one of these dhow boats, and there is two items need to be picked up. One item is a small item, which could be like master's papers of the boat. Let's say the Coast Guard wants to see if the papers are in order and would like the drone to pick it up and put it on the USV for inspection later. That would be small item, either the master's papers or just like a small bag that carries a couple of papers inside it. And the bigger item could be like a box that contains some items inside it that need to be inspected. A box, or it could be like a big log, a longish box or a squarish box, or another item that's about 10 kilos. I don't want to give out the clear details of the dimension because we want to see various solutions that you come up with for picking up objects that are of different types of dimensions.
Great. Now, one more question in the Q&A before I see a couple of coming in chat. So what about sensors on board for the USV?
Well, the USV will support autonomous functionality. There will not be any sensors mounted on USV. All the payloads have to be mounted by the teams.
Okay, then a couple of questions in the chat that we've had come in is one, can you talk a little bit about why it is a GNSS denied environment?
Well, this is a very good question. Thank you for asking that. These days, GPS jammers are available for bad actors, and they could use it to jam the GPS signal. And it could be that the sensor payloads that are mounted on the devices for some reason just don't work. Yeah, and they will have to still function in extreme situations. So as a result of that, we decided, okay, let's just make this entire operation in GNSS denied. And I think that also fosters innovation in operating, that also fosters innovation using other types of sensors and other possibilities. So this could also lead to a breakthrough in new innovations.
Perfect. Hopefully that answers that question. And then we've had a couple more come in online. One is just about the robotic arm and how that will work and who fits it.
Okay, so Aspire is going to fund $50,000 towards procuring a robotic arm. The participants can choose a robotic arm that they like. Up to 50K will be sponsored by us. How this arm is mounted on the USV is a very important part of the challenge. We want to see innovation in the process, innovation in mounting this robotic arm on the USV, and how this entire system works to pick up the objects from the nearby vessel. So that has to be done by the participants.
Okay, and then one more is just around the collaboration and how to form teams. So perhaps you could just talk a little bit more about that in the community forum.
Okay. Well, let's say there is a team that has expertise in UAV technology, and they do not have any person who has expertise in USV technology. Yeah, they can go to the community forum, and there is a section called as Team Buzz or Team Discussions, one of them. Just go there and provide a brief description of what exactly you're looking for, and ask the people to either reply to you or get in touch with you through a private message. There's a possibility for private messaging, and the community forum offers you to update your profile that you would like other participants to see. As a default, not much information apart from your handle will be visible to others. But if you would like other people to see some information about you, please just go and update it in the profile. I think you just have to play around with the platform a little bit. You'll be able to figure it out. It's just like any other social media platform. So this is for facilitating team activity, better teaming. Yeah, just use this platform to find collaborations with other companies, with other individuals. You can also use this to exchange knowledge between the teams, but just be mindful of the proprietary information.
Okay, another one here, which is it possible to use our own Wi-Fi systems to localize the UAVs during flight?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. As long as the UAVs use this Wi-Fi system to communicate among themselves, it is okay, but you cannot communicate to a system that is outside the UAV and USV system. So you can create your own Wi-Fi and mount it on one of the UAVs or USVs and use that for communicating between the various autonomous vehicles. Yeah.
A couple more on the USV. Does the USV have to follow the rules of the road?
I didn't get it. Go again.
Does the USV have to follow the rules of the road? So I assume this is more about the kind of...
Yeah, Tom, this is Art. I think what they're asking is whether it has to follow the naval rules of the road. And for this particular instantiation, if you can, yes, but it's not required, because there's only going to be the USVs and the vessels that are either the good guys or the bad guys, say, in this area. So there's not going to be anybody else in the area. So be mindful of the rules of the road, but it's not going to be a big issue.
Thank you, Art.
You're welcome.
And then one more on the USV. What would be the difference in size between our USV and other vessels?
Well, we don't want to reveal this information yet. We want to see a solution for all possible types of vessels. So if need be, we will reveal this information in later phases. So as of now, just it can be any type of a vessel. So we have specified that the area is going to be 10 square kilometers. So use the information that is available in the open.
Okay, and then one more here that's coming on the Q&A is do we need to consider if the UAVs get attacked by the target vessels?
No, they will not be attacked by the target vessels, so you don't have to worry about it.
Okay, now I think that's pretty much everything. Unless there are any other final questions that people would like to share.
I would give them another few minutes just in case something pops up in their head in the last minute.
Here we are. Can you please mention the weights of payload on the target vessels?
Weights of payload on the target vessels. Well, there won't be payload on the target vessels, but there will be objects that need to be picked up from the target vessel. The smaller object will be up to 1 kilo in weight, and the larger object will be up to 10 kilos in weight. So the target vessels will be whatever, they will have whatever payload. So basically, nobody is privy to the information about the target vessels.
Okay, one more just on, can you give a bit more clarity on the shape of objects on the target vessels?
Well, we are trying to keep it abstract for a reason. We want to see various solutions of picking up objects. So as of now, we just want to disclose the weight And I already gave a few hints that the first smaller object could be master's papers that the drones have to pick up. It could be either it could be either a file or a file that's put into a bag. And the larger object could be a box that is either square or longish or a piece of a long piece of wood. So we don't want to clearly specify how the objects look like, because in a real world scenario, it could be the object could have any shape. So we want to see various solutions coming. We want to see how teams will come up with solutions to pick up an object that has any shape.
Okay, just give it a couple more minutes.
Really very good questions. Thank you everyone for asking such excellent questions. This has been a very good session.
We've just had another one come in. It would be very difficult to design or ideate solutions for unknown size or number of vessels. Can we get some clarity on that?
So this is Art again. I know there were two questions, Tom. One about the picking up, and then the other one about the size. So the size of the target vessels right now will be in the range of the kind of vessels that they're hiding in. So think trawlers, think dhows, think something that's a large commercial, not a commercial craft, a large civilian craft. We're not talking about tankers. We're not talking about aircraft carriers. We're not talking about container ships. We're talking about the sort of things that are typically used by bad actors. And what was the other question you wanted the answer to, Tom?
Sure. So another comment come in is around, the competition as written would easily allow to deploy things on targets, therefore opening the way to dual use of the technology. So just some clarity on what that means and the sort of ramifications of that.
So we are specifically not asking for the competitors to deploy anything. We want to see how UAVs can move together, how UAVs can interact with USVs, and the combination of a USV, a swarm of UAVs, and robotic arms. We are only interested in picking things up.
So there is a very good question, Art. I would really like you to answer this. The competition as written would easily allow to deploy things on targets. Therefore,
I just answered that one.
Okay. Sorry. Sorry.
One other that's just coming on the Q&A that I've seen is there any constraint on UAV size or weight?
Well, we don't have. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Veena. Go ahead. Take it.
As of now, we have not put any constraint on UAV size or weight. Just consider that they also need to operate in various weather conditions. So if you're planning to have a Zeppelin-like UAV, you might want to think twice.
Yeah, and the other constraint is that you can only have between 5 and 20 of them. Yeah. So, you can't fill the skies, you can't darken the skies with your UAVs. And they need to be of a size that they could pick something up from the sort of general size vessels that we talked about. But other than that, it's really up to you guys.
Perfect. Well, I think that's everything from a question point of view. For everyone that's still online, I would just like to introduce the Art is Dr. Art Morrish. He is the CEO here at Xprize and the real driving force behind the MBZIRC challenge. Thank you everyone for your time. Art, would you like to offer a few closing words?
Yeah, like I said, or like Veena said, I should say, she gave the intro this time. We are really looking for the best and the brightest from around the world We think that this is something that any one institution will be really hard pressed to try and do all by yourselves. So I really encourage teaming. And we are really focused on this particular challenge because it has such a big bearing on the livelihood of people all around the world. Anybody with a coastline has to worry about smuggling, has to worry about illegal fishing, has to worry about things like human trafficking, things like piracy. These are big questions that affect the world community as a whole. And we're anxious to see what the best and the brightest in the world can try to do to alleviate these things. So I really appreciate you taking the time to show up for the webinar. And I really appreciate you putting some real thought into this because this is an important problem. Thank you very much.
Tom, there is still one more question that just came in. I think we should answer it. Someone asked if the individual UAVs in a swarm can be of various sizes. Yes, they can be.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Art, for being part of this webinar. Sure. I really appreciate it.
Sure. I'm sorry I came in late, Veena, but you did a great job.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you very much to all the people who have taken time to attend this webinar. Yeah, all thumbs up, all the best. And we are really looking forward to some amazing solutions and innovations in your white papers. Yeah, keep them coming soon. Over to you, Tom.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, see you.